welcome to Headlines Nigeria on Internet Television International. I am Grace Ukot with a summary of news making the headlines in our national dailies. In politics today, this day newspaper carries a headline, "Why I Didn't Attend Jonathan's Declaration" by Obasanjo. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has attributed his absence at last weekend's declaration by President Goodluck Jonathan at the Eagle Square in Abuja to his trip to Jamaica for the burial of the father of his friend, Karl Masters. The Nigerian Observer 2011 CNPP NCP back INEC request. The Conference of Nigerian Political Parties and the National Conscience Party have commended INEC for resolving to ask for more time to organize the 2011 polls. ACN aspirants pledge accountability. Action Congress of Nigeria aspirants representing Oredo Federal Constituency, Edo State, Razak Bello Osage and Lady Omorede Osifo have pledged to use constituency funds judiciously if elected. And in leadership newspaper, polls extension, National Assembly in crucial meeting Monday. The Senate and House of Representatives Committees on Constitution Review would on Monday meet jointly to deliberate on the possibility of extending time for the 2011 general election beyond the January 2011, earlier fixed by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Daily Independent newspaper, Atiku accuses Jonathan of polarizing the nation. Former Vice President and presidential aspirant of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has warned that President Goodluck Jonathan's insistence on running the 2011 presidential election, despite the zoning system provided for in the party's constitution and the pact of the founding fathers of the PDP, is polarizing the nation. And in news today, Vanguard newspaper, Abia seeks confab to tackle insecurity in Southeast. Worried by the high level of insecurity in the country, especially in Abia and other Southeast states where kidnapping and other violent crimes have assumed a frightening dimension, Abia state government has called for the convening of a national security summit to x-ray the insecurity problem and seek a lasting solution to it. Power outage, PHCN appeals to consumers. Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, has appealed to electricity consumers in some parts of Port Harcourt to show understanding as they would experience total blackouts that would last for 5 days. And in leadership newspaper, 3 children abducted in Jos. 3 children of the chairman, Plateau State Muslims Pilgrims Board, Alhaji Awalu Shehu Dankrama, were yesterday abducted in Jos, the Plateau State capital, with the abductors demanding a ransom of 5 million naira. Egbetokun is Ogun Speaker, says court. That's in this day newspaper. An Ogun State High Court sitting in Isabo area of Abeokuta yesterday affirmed Tunji Egbetokun as the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, effectively nullifying the recent attempt by the minority members to oust the majority. Golden Jubilee, Nigerians kick against new 15 naira note. That's in the Nigerian Observer newspaper. Some Nigerians have kicked against the federal government's plan to print new 50 naira notes to mark the nation's Golden Jubilee celebration. They told newsmen that the new naira note amounted to a waste of scarce resources. And in Business Next newspaper carries the headline, Aviation Workers Threaten Strike. Following the court order that caused the freezing of the accounts of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, employees of the agency on Wednesday threatened to halt the general operations of the authority if the court fails to lift the order in its ruling today. Institute to sanction members on corporate governance, that's still saying in the same newspaper. The Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, has said it would prosecute its members who violate corporate governance rules in the country. Nigerian Tribune, market capitalization down by 21 billion naira. Major equity transactions continued their tumbling in prices on Wednesday, with the twin market indicators on the Nigerian Stock Exchange falling further by 21 billion naira. And in sports today, Vanguard newspaper, 2 referees slumped to death in Cooper tests. It was a black afternoon at the Abuja National Stadium yesterday as 2 referees dropped dead during a Cooper test. After some postponements for the Cooper test, the referees were eventually gathered at the Abuja National Stadium for the regular test to ascertain their level of fitness in readiness for the National League due to kick off next month. Next newspaper carries the headline, Top Stars Dump Dolphins. Dolphins' chances of posting a good performance in the 2010-2011 Premier League season doesn't appear so good at the moment, after a vast majority of the club's players from last season's campaign failed to turn up at the club's training ground for pre-season training. Still in next newspaper, trio pull out of Commonwealth Games. A trio of top British athletes, including world triple jump champion Phillips Idowu and Olympic 400 meters gold medalist Christine Ohurogu, pulled out of the troubled Commonwealth Games in India on Tuesday. Leadership newspaper, Eagles have no business being world's 34th. Kalika. Former Beijing Olympics assistant coach Simon Kalika has revealed going by the talents that abound in Nigeria. The Super Eagles have no business being ranked by the World Football Governing Body FIFA as number 34. Other sports stories include Vanguard newspaper, Oshomole appoints Amodu football consultant. This day newspaper, NSC meets NFF on eve of Bill's visit to FIFA. And in next newspaper, we see league kickoff date to be decided Friday. And with these stories, we wrap up today's edition of the program. Do have a beautiful day and thanks for logging on.